Oh, hey, Nancy Guppy and Art Zone. It's your good friend Charles R. Cross. I want to wish you and Art Zone a happy anniversary. I love your show, Nancy, almost as much as I love you. It always makes me feel really creative, really arty, part of a wider community of people that are doing interesting things. I thought I'd be interesting by shooting this in my car, but I was totally wrong about the camera angle. But I'm right about Art Zone, Nancy, and I'm right about you. I adore you. Thank you for all you do.
Hello, hello.
Hi there and welcome to the show. I'm Nancy Guppy here at Georgetown Stables, and we've got lots of great stuff for you this week. Take a look. African-American graphic designers.
Through this work, the visual identity for protest, for Afrofuturism, and for hip-hop were made.
The charming spirit of Ballard ArtWalk. Remembering Virginia Wright. A poem by Gallo-Brown. And music by Low Hums.
We walk through the town alive. Yeah, we walk through the town alive. Well, we walk.
We'll begin with Sean Abramson, a Pearl Jam fan whose collection of band memorabilia can only be described as epic.
My name is Sean Abramson, and I'm a fan of Pearl Jam. That might be an understatement. The tour starts here. Lance Mercer photos, most of them signed by the guys, including the late Chris Cornell. It all started after I saw Pearl Jam live for the first time. I joined the fan club afterwards, and then got a newsletter, had lots of merchandise to buy. To the Evolution drawings and cells, they actually made the video with. And I saw a poster I liked a lot. I ordered it, got it in the mail, decided I needed to get everything related to Pearl Jam ever made and ever will be made. And this room includes all posters all the way through 1998. It's all about the music to me. It speaks to me, it makes me feel great, and then so I collected all their stuff so I could feel and be part of what they had to offer. Record sales awards on this wall here. I've seen 188 Pearl Jam shows, and I'm doing 19 more this year. My pick collection here, over 100 of them. Other small stuff over here, like promotional items. My obsessive scale with Pearl Jam is definitely a 10. When it comes to prices on stuff, if I want something bad enough, I always find the money for it. I have my collection insured for $3 million. I have a few things that are really exciting for me to have. Eddie Vedder owned and used guitar, a letter to me on the back and the front signed by all the guys. I've been offered $100,000 for it, turned it down, not because I don't want the money, it's because it's that important to me. I don't want to sell it. It's the most valuable piece I own, for sure. I've met all the guys in the band over the years many times. I know them very well, and they actually know my name most of the time. Eddie likes me, Mike likes me, Stone puts up with me, Jeff dislikes me. He's, over the years, not understood my obsession and passion for Pearl Jam. He doesn't get it. And Matt is more indifferent about me. This room here is promotional posters, like record stores or giveaways. This starts from the year 2000 all the way through 2012. I have every poster ever made on display. One of my favorite stories is Mike McCready's wife, Ashley, saw me one time years ago and said, "You are absolutely everywhere. How do you get places you shouldn't be all the time?" And I go, "I guess I'm just good at my passions. Around the corner here is the next continuation of the Pearl Jam posters. Eddie Vedder's solo posters here. No one's been out here from the band yet. They keep saying they're going to. Eddie and Mike both have, but they haven't. Hopefully I will someday. I would love to have them out. I would not even ask for an autograph. I think about stopping all the time, but I just can't do it yet. And that's it.
That's all?
Nothing else. Maybe more in the future.
Pearl Jam kicks off their 2020 tour on March 18th. More information is on their website. A cool and historically important exhibition called As, Not For, Dethroning Our Absolutes features the work of African-American graphic designers from the 20th century, many of whom have not received recognition. Well, here to talk about the show is the director and curator of Jacob Lawrence Gallery, Emily Zimmerman. Hi, Emily.
Hi, Nancy.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're delighted you're here. So let's set the stage here, okay? As Not For, Dethroning Our Absolutes, it's a traveling exhibit.
Yes.
Curated by Jerome Harris.
Yes.
Right? And he lives in Brooklyn currently?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's being co-presented in Seattle. Two of the sections, Musicality and Parties plus Protest, are at Jacob Lawrence Gallery, and Black Data is at Civilization's Non-Breaking Space.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's where the
Yeah.
show is. So let's start with when and where did this exhibit debut?
It started in September of 2018 at the Maryland Institute College of Art, where Jerome was teaching at the time. And then it traveled across the country to 8 different cities, and Seattle will be the 9th
Number 9.
city.
And it's here because you facilitated this. You're the one who heard about it and said, we got to get it here in Seattle. Is that right?
I am lucky to be surrounded by some really brilliant students. So a design student, Franklin Van Diver, first brought it to my attention, and then a friend working at the Maryland Institute College of Art also reiterated how great it is.
It is an important exhibit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so the curator, Jerome Harris, he's a bit of a Renaissance man. We were talking about he's a graphic designer, educator, writer, curator, also dance teacher,
Yes.
DJ, cook, many things. And he writes that this show is, quote, an incomplete historical survey of work created by African-American graphic designers over the last century. So why does Jerome describe this exhibit as incomplete?
In many ways, the work of capturing these Black graphic designers has just begun. This is a first attempt at a survey, and it points to the work that needs to be done to create a narrative and to capture this work more completely.
And what was the impetus initially for Jerome to put this show together?
So Jerome once over the phone said to me that he curated the show for himself because he wanted to see all of the work brought together for his own research. And clearly something that started as a personal project resonated with many across the country and has led to its celebration and success.
Right, and 9 cities,
Yeah.
counting. So the title, As Not For, Dethroning Our Absolutes, connect that with the exhibit. What does that mean?
Yeah, the quote comes from Alan Locke, who said that African Americans should speak as themselves, not for an idealized image of identity. So speaking from an individuated perspective rather than as a whole.
Like saying, speaking for an entire group of people. Right,
Exactly.
Right. Now, the works in the show are both originals and reproductions, and much of the work is considered ephemera. So what is ephemera in this context of the show?
Ephemera is, materials made that aren't made to last forever. Party flyers, posters, a lot of really important work in popular culture gets worked out in ephemera. And many of the designers included in the exhibition worked in ephemera. people like Emory Douglas, who created the Black Panther newspaper. So we tried to fold in some of those materials alongside the posters.
Now, are there particular pieces, and I think there might be, that you gravitate towards in the exhibit?
Yeah, I was really thrilled to learn about Sylvia Abernathy, also known as Lainey, who did album covers for Sun Ra and a number of others, and is credited as perhaps being the first female designer working on record covers.
What is it about some of those covers that grab you?
They're incredibly vibrant and bold. They create a totally new visual vocabulary and resonate with the music in a way that feels unprecedented.
Now, Jerome also writes about the exhibit that it, quote, seeks to question, inspire, activate, and challenge the design community and beyond with the objective of promoting the deep history, design theories, and aesthetics of African Americans. So can you speak to some of the theories and aesthetics offered by African American designers, graphic designers?
Yeah, I think that there is a visual language that was established that makes use of bold colors, high contrast. It's grounded in social realism. A lot of the Black Panther work, while being incredibly iconic, is also grounded in everyday life. And through this work, the visual identity for protest, for Afrofuturism, and for hip hop were made.
Now, many of these graphic designers in the exhibit, they've been excluded from classrooms, correct? Their work and their names have not been taught, which it hurts the artists and their legacies, but it also certainly hurts students who are studying to become graphic designers. So do you think, and maybe this is too early to answer, but do you think that this traveling exhibit is changing that, is opening eyes and kind of making it more inclusive, bringing these people into the curriculum?
I hope so. One of the beautiful things about this exhibit is from its first instance, it's included students in its instantiation. So Jerome worked with students at the Maryland Institute College of Art, and it's gone to a number of other universities. At the Jacob Lawrence Gallery, we're incredibly lucky to work with Razia Ahmed, who's a senior in graphic design, and Elizabeth Cavillo, who's a senior in photo media and international relations, on the exhibition design and realizing all the different elements.
That's great. Now, as we talked about earlier, you facilitated getting this exhibit to Seattle. Yay! How important is it that Jacob Lawrence Gallery is a co-presenter of this show?
I think it's incredibly crucial for our mission. The Jacob Lawrence Gallery has a mission for education first, social justice, and experimentation. And as an exhibition that meets all of those mission points and plays a really crucial educational role, we're incredibly grateful to be hosting it alongside Civilization in Seattle.
Yeah, it's kind of right, the sweet spot, isn't it? This
Yeah.
show is for you. Well, thank you so much for finding the show or bringing it to Seattle. We're very grateful for that. And as Not For, Dethroning Our Absolutes runs at Jacob Lawrence Gallery now through March 26th and at Civilization's Non-Breaking Space now through April 23rd. More information, including details on special events happening throughout the run, is on their websites. Well, thank you, my dear.
Thank you
Cheers.
so much, Nancy.
And I also want to cheers your beautiful dress.
Oh,
Before Charlottesville. Days pass and the self grows louder than before, slumps, sinks, rises again like a dog irritated by an instinct something has gone wrong. If I were a supremacist, I might believe in the superiority of skin on skin, a circumstance for which I never found a name, no matter how many times you asked. as though I were a god who could invent language, as though I could be that big. On the day that we learned about Charlottesville, I woke in the woods in a suit and tie with the words from a wedding song cantering through my head. You are the best thing that ever happened to me, the song dripped, and soon the lyrics were oozing through my own booze-stained lips, loud enough to wake you next to me in your zipped bag. Later, I would watch the video of the sad clown Nazi pleading to his imagined people for respect and become afraid, not at his willingness to welcome skinlessness, but at mine, the cloudy pink wrapper of him, merely provocation to the bloodthirst that lives inside me, along with that which remains constant beneath this bag of brown, its shade varying by season and sun, a husk I hold against you in the bright light after my brother's wedding, before we learned about Charlottesville, a circumstance for which the only adequate words are song.
Thank you, Miles. Well, I am so psyched. We are psyched about our band this week, Low Hums, Jonas Haskins.
Yes.
Man, it's great to see
Nancy,
you.
nice to see you
and
too.
I love the whole look.
Thank you.
The fringe.
I wear this every day.
Well, of course, it's a natural. It fits you. So before we chat a bit, let's meet the band. I'm starting on the right over here.
We have Lee over here.
Hey, Lee, great to see you.
Looking mean with his hat there.
Indeed.
We got, on the drums, we have Mike Bear.
Hi, Mike. Hello. Great to see you.
Good to see you too, Nick. On the bass guitar, this is our bass man here. His name's John.
Hi, John. It's great to see you. And of course,
Miles. Hi.
Hi, Miles. All right, so you guys came together 2009.
About 2009, yep.
A lot of critical praise over the years, including Jack Endino. I believe he said something about Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground.
Yes.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby,
Not too shabby.
no.
But my favorite comment is from Mike Dumovich, and director of the Chautauqua Music Festival.
yes.
Because this is what he says. He says, quote, "The voice of Low Hums lead singer Jonas Haskins sounds like running into a cool old friend in a tiny town while you're on vacation." Now, isn't that...
That is awful
I
sweet
love
of
it.
him.
It's
Thank
very
you, Mike.
sweet. And what I like is it's specific, but what he's talking about is he's talking about a feeling that he gets from the music. So I'm curious, how important is it, or is it important, making that connection at that level with your audience?
I think it's a pretty big, important kind of a thing to do, because you want to connect with them.
Yeah.
And you know, that's what everybody wants it to feel like it's their own personal experience. So yeah, definitely.
And you can feel it when you're playing, yeah?
I think so, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, sometimes, you know, if people are on their phones or tuned out or something like that.
Not on our show.
Not on our show.
No
not
way.
around here.
Not around
but-
here anyway, yeah. Well, I love that comment, it's such a great compliment. So you have 5 LPs, the last one came out last fall, Zizix.
Yeah.
Zizix, and that, I thought maybe was a made-up word, but it's not.
It's
It
kind of
refers to something.
It does refer to something. It originally is a made-up word, made up to be the last word in the dictionary, by the name of a dude who was starting a not really health spa. I guess it is sort of a health spa.
Yeah.
Out in the desert outside of Las Vegas back in the 50s, and so he made up that name for the location.
Yeah.
So that it would be in the dictionary. I don't know why he did that, but
He just felt like doing it.
Felt like doing it. If you got a place out in the desert, I mean, why not?
Why not?
It seemed like it was a cool thing to do. And then Miles actually broke down right at Zizix Road and thought, hey, that's a cool
perfect.
name. Perfect
It all comes
name.
together. And actually, you're kind of a health spa, kind of a band. Not really.
We, you know.
Well, I mean, kind of a healthy band. Yeah. You bring us mental health. Good mental health. So, okay, so Zizix, it came out last November, like I said. It's available CD, cassette, and digital, and then the vinyl is to come.
Vinyl is to come. We
It's
just got
coming.
the test pressings 2 days ago.
Nice, excellent.
Yeah,
We'll
they
look
sound
forward to
good,
that.
so.
So 2 songs you're going to play first off Zizix, and what song are you going to be playing first?
We're going to start with the Tunnel of Light.
Tunnel of Light, all right. Low Hums, are you ready to do this thing?
We're ready.
Are you ready to do this thing?
We're ready.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Low Hums.
with lights lit up the land. It didn't matter that the rain was falling down. Rainbow raindrops falling on the ground. We came to the secret fire, and there we had some whiskey. I sat back for a while, and everything was alright. We walked through the town alive. Yeah, we walked through the town alive. Where we walked through the town alive. Yeah, we walked through the town alive. We came to the secret bar, and there we had some whiskey. We sat back for a while, and everything was alright.
Pick up Low Hum's new record, Zizix, at Easy Street Records in West Seattle, Sonic Boom Records in Ballard, and Hex Induction Records and Books on Lake City Way or online. And follow the band on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Hi, I'm Kiana Ballo, and I'm delighted to be presenting this calendar of events. Hatch is a careful curation of some of the region's most talented choreographers and dancers performing hip-hop, contemporary, and urban styles. Each piece is set to the sounds and visual delights of Pacific Northwest musicians and artists, which highlights their mission to unite and expand the Seattle community. You can see Hatch 3 on March 13th at Fremont Abbey Arts Center. St. Joan, a timeless classic by George Bernard Shaw, is an electrifying portrait of one of history's most revered and revolutionary legends. This masterpiece shines a fierce light on the limits of an individual in a society dominated by political and religious forces. Directed by Matthew Wright, St. Joan hits the stage from March 12th through April 5th at Arts West Playhouse. And as the organizer of the Ballard ArtWalk, I'm excited to tell you about what's happening this month. The Ballard ArtWalk is a free community event where local businesses host artists in their space for an evening of art and exploring the charm of downtown Ballard. This month, The Junk Drawer will be hosting art by Michael Paul Ambrose, Locust Cider will be hosting art by Sydney Russell, and Monster will have their For the Love of Ballard show on display. This celebration of arts in Ballard happens on March 14th from 6 to 9 p.m.
Thanks, Kiana. We'd like to close the show with a remembrance of Virginia Wright, an art collector, philanthropist, and visionary who died on February 18th at the age of 91. Virginia began collecting modern art in the early 1950s, once paying $1,000 for Mark Rothko's color-field masterpiece, Number 10. And over the next 60-plus years, Virginia and her late husband, Bagley Wright, amassed a collection of contemporary art, including Barnett Newman's Broken Obelisk and Jonathan Borofsky's Hammering Man, that turned Seattle into one of the most vibrant collecting communities in the country. In 2014, when the bulk of their collection was donated to the Seattle Art Museum, a great institution was transformed into a truly remarkable one. Earlier this month, Virginia reflected on the future of the Wright collection at SAM, saying, "I put my trust in the artists, and I trust that future generations will value their work, that SAM will continue to provide meaningful access to it, and that the conversations that their work has inspired will continue." Our deepest gratitude to Virginia for her lifelong generosity and her unwavering visionary spirit. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you soon.
Got the great degree so Thank you.
Art Zone is filmed on location at Georgetown Stables, the coolest event space in Seattle. More information is at georgetownstables.com.